Hey guys, how are you? My name's Trip, and we're here with a Bant Stoneblade video today. It's something I put together after Stoneforge Mystic being unbanned. We're gonna see if it's truly terrible in a format that's kind of slowed down a bit, so I feel like it can kind of find a niche little spot as the white kind of um, yin and yang to Jund. So I'll get started by explaining the mana base here. Fairly simple. You want green turn 1, then you want a lot of blue in later turns. So we have 8 fetch lands, a couple cycle lands, and a Gavany Township and the Field of Ruin as our utility lands because we do have 6 mana creatures, so we do have the flexibility there in our 22. So we have 11 1-drops, and Giver of Room and Hex Drinker are our flex cards to get with our Ranger Captain or Vs. But to round it off, we have removal and 1-drops. So we do have Stoneforge Mystic and Ice Fang, or kind of mid-range grindy elements to kind of get ahead on the board. Also keep hit cards in hand and just play like that. Force the negation for anything that's unfair. Pairs with a lot of blue cards here we have deck. Spell Queller is just a fantastic card to tempo people out, especially with Force the Force the negation back up and Ice Fang Kodo to lock down the battlefield. Teferi is a really good card in Standard. If you played Standard, you know it's insane. So we bring it to Modern and we get to pair it with cards like Spell Queller, stop their instant speed stuff, and it just seems really good. My swords are Fire and Ice because it's just the best one out of the bunch, and Light and Shadow. Light and Shadow will also gain me life in the burn matchup, and I get to bring a card back from my hand. So it helps a lot in the racing scenarios. It deals with black cards like Fatal Push, creatures like Dark Confidant, or the 4-drop Kalitas that they bring in against the style of deck. And also you get to pick up a card. So you can sack this against a combo deck. They can't play anything. Hit them with damage, you get it back. And I'll lock them out that way. It's a soft lock that's kind of built into the deck. It's also why I have 1 Giver and 1 Hex Drinker. It's kind of a small-ish package to manipulate the battlefield and as it progresses. To round it off, we have Jace and Cryptics to kind of play as our big heavy hitters at the top end of the so our sideboard is really straightforward. We're just trying to hate out anything that has artifacts in it because there are a lot of that there. So we'll board out a lot of our Stoneforge Mystics in the unfair matchups because put in a turn 3 4/4 with lifelink and vigilance doesn't compare to dying. So we'll bring in Collector Roof and a couple of things to stop the artifacts. We have Core Firewalker for burn. We have Rest in Peace for anything that's degenerate with the graveyard. We do have 1 removal spell here that's really good in the early game and fantastic late game. And to round it out, we have a really flexible card, Knight of Autumn, and 2 Chiox. So with that being said, that's the deck list, and we're going to go ahead and get started here in the gameplay. As we wait on our opponent to join here, we'll kind of... Alright, so we didn't get to play. That's one of the biggest things in Modern is just trying to get the... But with that being said, we'll kind of talk out our hand here. We do have a really good proactive hand here. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Ranger. We have an Ice Fang Coddle if playing to the board. So we're going to keep this hand here in hopes they're playing Fair Magic. Dude, I'm really stoked to get into PC. Oon's one of my mods is finally getting his PC. Excuse me. Alright, so our life title does not matter here. We're just gonna get a bunch of blue for cryptic commands and also cast our turn 1 play here. So there is a play I can do where I sack the Ranger Captain of EOS next turn to stop them from playing anything. It should stop their progression of mana for a turn, kind of let us get ahead here. And that's what I'll do. Since our left title doesn't matter, I'll go ahead and fetch out another white source here. And I'm going to get a Hex Drinker here on their upkeep. We're going to sack the Ranger. So the Ranger should stop all of their instants and sorcerers from being cast, should stop their progression entirely here. So it should stop this in midair, and it should just, it won't resolve, it'll go straight to all there. Now we have Hex Drinker to play, as well as Fang Coddle. So our gameplay now is just to race. We will have 5 mana next turn for Gavany Township. So that is likely how we'll dump our mana here. And so we're just gonna level up here. Put a lot of damage on the board. It's tapped. And attack for 5. So we're in a full-on race here. We're at 13. We are at a low life total. So if they have Scape Shift here, we are just dead. Yep. I'm gonna spend this time trying to get Moto to kind of show me everything here. Partly other. There we go. All right. Let's see. For this matchup, we want to get an early one of these. We'll bring in a knight just in case they have a 4-drop that matters here. Cut one of our swords. Coddles are kind of a mid-range thing here. I don't want them. Let's see. Yeah, this looks good. Some more counters. Can stop him dead with Ashiok. We have a turn 2 Ashiok on the play. It seems fantastic here. Note that if the Noble dies, we do not have a follow-up. But we'll keep. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and burn them one time here and see. Exile to Valaka, Escape Shift, and that was fantastic hits there. You don't really care about the lands. They have a lot of lands. Most of their deck is just specifically lands. So you want to hit the cards that kill you. So this is a fantastic card. We hit a land here, we're golden. Alright. So I think I'm going to choose to use my mana proactive way. That's negated due to the Ashiok. If they play something that's meaningful, I'll counter it. If not, I'll put in Alien Click here and apply some pressure. I'm gonna go ahead and click myself. I'll put a Stoneforge on the bottom. I'm gonna draw a land here. To shock this in, we have Cryptic Command mana up, and we have pressure on the battlefield. This is a very simple way to win. This is what you want to do. You just want to lock them out. Beat him with a clock. That's how you beat this style of deck. Ashiok is our kind of modern I got you card, and they don't have an answer for it. So this is pretty easy. Note that I do not want to take down anymore because I want it to stay on the battlefield. I don't want anything to happen to it as far as Bolt taking out the battlefield. We are shutting off their fetch land as well. So at this point, they are locked out. It is tempting to put more pressure on the battlefield, but it doesn't change the clock. So we're going to continue to hold up Spell Queller and Cryptic. So I have multiple ways to win the game, multiple ways to counter what they could draw. This seems like a fantastic way to kind of just game on the spot here. Alright, so we're on to game 3 here. You notice how Ice Fang Coddle would have been very poor. Any instance there. There is nothing I want to change here. So, submit. Being on the play is very important in this solid matchup. Get on the board. Like turn 2 Ashiok there was backbreaking for their fetch lands and their search for tomorrows. It shuts off all of their deck, and it makes them have to draw lands naturally, not fetch, draw a threat to kill us, which is very difficult to take a setup. So they are just stone cold dead Ashiok. But we do have to protect it, which is why I didn't tap out at any point there. I held Cryptic up for as long as I could, countered their spell that they needed to kind of try to stabilize, and we just ended it from there. So we're going to look to do the same thing here for game 3 and get a win on the board. We have a Noble, we have a Force, we have a way to get pressure, Path of Exile. This game could go long, but I'm not going to mulligan here. Okay, I don't see anything that I want to path here. So I'm just going to put Stoneforge into play and attack. Because next turn I can play Ranger and cast the spell. Yep. I like this play here a lot. Better Skull. Attack for 1. Note that we do have Force Negation up if they have Anger or something of the sort. Excuse me, I am coming over a cold. Now we'll hold priority and put in Batterskull at the end of their turn here. Sure. So they were stuck on lands here. They were really hoping to draw some lands and here as a way to kind of facilitate a game plan here. Let's see. So we do have pressure here. We potentially should have gotten the other sword and kind of tried to lock them out of the game here. Let's see. We're gonna get another noble hierarch here, and we're to try to lifelink our way. Game. That's our game plan. Now, unfortunately, I do have to get a Hollowed Fountain here. Path. In case I hit Cryptic, I want to have Cryptic mana up here. In case one of these dies, I don't want them to kind of bolt something. Fantastic. That was a perfect draw here. So this way I'm playing around an artifact removal spell. Also, I can sack this back with the trigger on the stack. So Fry was a removal spell to uh, kind of deal with the ranger there. I don't want to equip right now. I want to hold up path in case I have like a tireless tracker or anything to kind of get themselves into the game. So Ashiok is a really good hit here. We're gonna go ahead and play that to kind of shut down things they have to win. Let's see what we there. Get an obstinate Baloth, which is alright. Was gonna be their next draw set, which is good. Now we have to kind of figure out how we want to do this here. And I think I just want to continue to gain life. The sword should make it to where they can't block. Pick up Ranger. So they have to deal with me at 35 life, an Ashiok, and a Ranger to continuously lock them out of the game. We do have 6 mana, so we did get the win. Alright. That's a really tough matchup. You really have to kind of finagle your way around and kind of shut off halves and quarters of their deck at a time. And that's what the cards do. You kind of saw the soft lock there with Sword of Light and Shadow and Ranger Captain of Eos, which is really good. The Nobles really allowed me to kind of push through life advantage, make it really difficult for them to draw lands and kill me. And then to finish it off, we had the Ashiok out of the sideboard to kind of just wrap things up, which is fantastic. It's what you want. It's kind of how you board them to begin with. It's something that you'll kind of see, like as the match goes, it's really flexible, and that's kind of how I built the sideboard to kind of attack halves and quarters of decks that are really popular in the metagame. So we're gonna go to game 2 here. Would love to play first. We have a noble, 2 lands. We have a really good hand here. So keep. So we'll play a turn 1 noble. Let's see what we're playing here. Ooh, just a lightning bolt. Okay, so it seems like we're playing something fair here. Another land is really good. So we're gonna play a Stoneforge Mystic here. Get a Batter Skull. Kind of play around Inquisition. If they have the Thought Seed, they'll pick between Ranger, Fairy, and Batter Skull. being on the play was really good here as well because it kind of makes their Liliana really bad against multiple creatures. They had to spend a removal spell here. They'll probably just play a Tarmogoyf and pass. And at that point, we can play to Fairy and kind of bounce it and get up on cards. So that's the game plan if they are playing Jund, but we'll reevaluate when we draw and win. So there's our Tarmogoyf. We are playing Jund. You have the Path the Exile if things get wild. I am kind of expecting a So I like playing the Teferi here. I like kind of getting a card off the battlefield as well as drawing a card. I do want to hit my land drops in this style of matchup. So hopefully this prompts them to Assassin's Trophy this. So I get my land drop because I can naturally cast Batterskull. This game's going to go very long, and I just kind of want to be up on tempo and kind of choke them on mana. So they replay the Tarmogoyf. Alright, so they're missing their land, so we're not going to path here. Let's excuse me. We are going to shock this in. Just play a noble, and we're going to pass here. So we have the option to Spell Queller any play, or at the end of turn we can just play our Batterskull. So them being locked on lands does mean they have 6 really good spells here. I think we just let this happen. They do have a tough choice between Spellqueller and Ranger. The path is probably something they don't want to take here. Ranger is going to get me a card that lets me have protection. I forget the name. Stepmom is what people call it. Modern version of Mother of Runes. So they took the Spellqueller here. I don't think they wanted to trade a Tarmogoyf for a Stoneforge Mystic. That would be very, very ideal for me here. See, so we are going to put Batterskull into play here. Now we have a 4/4. Alright, so we drew another Spellqueller. We have 5 mana here. See, we are at a low life total, so I am going to get an attack in here. We need to start killing them because they do have 5 spells in their hand. So we're just going to tempo them out. You want to get the interaction with Spellqueller and Teferi going anytime you can. So they didn't have a removal spell this time, so we're going to go ahead and Spellqueller this here. And we left path up with our Noble, but even if they decide to kill this, they won't be able to get the Inquisition to take Ranger. So I think this is the correct play here. And I use our tempo to our advantage with what we have on the board. You have bad attacks here. Alright, so block like this. They are essentially going to trade a Tarmogoyf for a Stoneforge Mystic just to carry off the battlefield. Now I can equip the Batterskull to the Stoneforge or the Spellqueller and kind of just go to town in the air, even if they do deploy another Tarmogoyf if they drill it. But trading a Tarmogoyf isn't very good in this situation when I can equip it. Sure. This just goes to show that this interaction is extremely powerful. They did lose a creature, so they could have hit the Spell Queller, which I think would have been my play here. We did draw another sword. See, there are two options we can do here. We can equip the Batterskull to the Spell Queller and just mollywop them. We can also equip the Sword of Fire and Ice. Get up a card. Or we can take a turn off and play a Ranger and just make sure that it dies. I do like that play a lot here. Get Ranger down on the battlefield. We're going to sack it during our upkeep. Going to get our Giver of Runes. That way we can kind of protect things when we start to equip Batterskull. Let's make sure we upticked. And on their upkeep, you're going to sacrifice this guy. So it was tough for them to leverage removal spells early. They can't play anything at this speed because it's a fairy. So they are basically locked out of playing anything other than another Tarmogoyf. They have one. So we hit another Teferi, which isn't a fantastic draw. Excuse me. But are going to Tempo them again, hopefully hit a land. So we'll hit Fire and Ice here. It just does. I get to be up a card. We have a protection here. So this game is pretty much locked up. I realized that as well. So I know I don't want a 2-for-1 myself with Force the Negation. Knight of Autumn does seem... This matchup is really good for us, so it's really odd to kind of sideboard. So we'll just bring in our Rest in Peace, shut off the Tarmogoyfs. And our Sweeper for our late game. I don't think I want any. See, I do want to cut my top deck. All right. Fire and Ice doesn't seem very good here. So we'll bring in a Unified Will. You have a very, very good main deck against them. Trying to sideboard is very cool. I do not want to mulligan against the Thoughtseize deck. So we have lands and spells. So we're just going to play off the top of our deck here. The Thoughtseize is probably going to take our Time Raveler, our Cryptic. I doubt them. They took the Noble. Oh boy. Alright, well that definitely covers some things. Later in the game. I do like Teferi if they don't have a way to interact with it. I can kind of gain some tempo and card advantage back that way. Definitely see what they're. Sure. So get blue-green here for our Cryptics. Just get all of our fetch lands out of the way. Take as little damage as possible. If they do play something that's really backbreaking here, that's it. Ideal. Alright, we're gonna put this back to the hand here. They must have kept a really reactive hand. We have nothing to do here. Teferi's put us back on the play, basically. Have a card. They already got him a card. This is why I cut the birds. These are really bad top decks late game. But we do have a force negation for anything like a planeswalker or something to kind of slow us down in that regard. You have a path to exile for any creature that can make it wild as well. Odds are they will just redeploy the Tarmogoyf. Alright, so we picked up a Guardian Giver here. I think I take the hit for 5 and get a 10, and then just block this indefinitely without blocking any here. Okay, another Tarmogoyf is not ideal here. I'm going to go ahead deal with the lane here. I don't want them drawing a card later in the game. Just kind of get out of the way. They are really far away from creature lands. So here, get so Teferi is a fantastic draw here. So now we're set up to play the long game. Kato was a very good draw for blocks. Even if they do have interaction here, they have to get first. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I do want this on the battlefield to draw a card. I keep thinking it's green. There we go. It's really tough to cast. Good old moto things. So they have really tough picks here. Um, Coddle has Death Touch, which is fantastic. It blocks this really well and protection. So they have a really nice setup here. A second Tarmogoyf is what it is. It's a negation for anything that can be build. So I am pretty well set up here, and I can also push through. Get wild. Alright, so on their end step, I'm going to flash in the click here. Odds are they probably will be able to keep everything they have. Unless they have like a sweeper or some sort of thing like Damnation. But outside of a full sweeper, I think we are really set up to play the long game here. We do have answers to the board. Our Planeswalkers can gain us on a card advantage. A lot of good things. We may see a Kolaghan's Command here, which is going to get forced. But this is why I didn't path early. A really good way to beat the mid-range style matchup is to tempo them out. Now they're playing from behind. Their cards are really costly. I don't not. Just a good habit to get into is tapping your creature for mana whenever you can. Just have a thing that goes on the stack. You have a land that you can always do. We'll get rid of the Bloodbraid Elf. Go ahead and get the attack in here for 4. Grab Batter Skull here. And that's the turn. Again, just to kind of go over, we're set up for combat with Giver. Block anything profitably. You have a Planeswalker, this card advantage. So they drew a removal spell here, but they are going to get tempoed out because they're not going to be able to attack this turn. I can bounce the Tarmogoyf. They may trade. Nothing here is very profitable. They can have the path actually. I don't want to give them a land here. Just want to choke them on mana. So up here. Alright, they should be. So, taking down to a Teferi. So there's nothing they can do in combat because of the Teferi. And that does it. We are 2-0 in the league. So hopefully you see here that we've played something kind of unfair and we've kind of attacked an angle there, and the main deck is really well set up to play a long fair game. It's important to kind of look at what makes a deck really attack and then kind of amalgamate things that are really good against what's against you. So a perfect example of that is Collector Roof. This little guy helps a lot in the matchups where game 1 we play a Stoneforge Mystic and hope to play a Batterskull. They play all of their artifacts and kill us. So we swap out this little package for this package, and we have a really fair shot at winning the game. This deck is really customizable. It's what I like about green, white, and blue. Shunned. We have some nice plays here, and we're on the draw, or we're on the play. So I'll keep this hand here. Force a negation for anything crazy. This lets us draw a card, and off we go. Alright, so Teferi is insane in a Colonnade style matchup. I don't want to get hit with something wild and crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch here. I just want to tap out, be able to F6, apply pressure. Force negation back up. I'm not going to thing here. I want to start pinging in for points. I did screw up here by not fetching. I should be at 16 instead of 14. Hopefully that doesn't make a difference. Else. Alright, so do have another Teferi. I do want to jam this one here because we have a second one. put them to the test for a removal spell here. So I will force a Teferi if they have one. Sure. Got me. That does kind of... It's annoying, but it's not... I want to pay attention. No, with Cryptic that I can't. So they picked up Spell Snare here, which is a really good pickup for them. A lot of our decks are 2-drops. But I am gonna just mollywop Teferi. Let's see if they count another Noble here. We're gonna attack Narset so it cannot find another card. And jam Teferi. There's no reason to downtick. We cannot draw a card. They don't get an extra card off of the Narset. We do have a force negation for anything wild, but we have a... Yeah, we have an amount of pressure. I don't think I'll tap out for Stoneforge Mystic. I do want to Cryptic Command up. But we'll evaluate when we draw for the turn. I would love more land. Cool. Alright, so we do have a pretty good block here. It's the ability. We get the Batter Skull here. I do not want at all. Use my mana here. We'll counter. I'll say Colonnade here. Just kind of put them back further on land. Yeah. And they conceded. They knew that they were. Alright, again, we'll cut birds. All of our paths. Unified Will. Shiok, and just to kind of do enchantment aid they may bring in out of the board. Isn't anything else I want, so we'll submit. We are really, really well set up here. If we land into Fairy, it's pretty much game over against the control deck. We kind of have all the tools we need to win that one play. So we'll supplement the cards that are really bad here in Path the Exile, which have little to no targets, and Birds of Paradise, which are really bad top decks. and we'll put in cards that kind of do well, like Unified Will. Ashiok on a play can really destroy mana base. Um, also stops field or things like that. Have a solid hit. They kept 7 as well, so we should have a good game of Magic. So luckily last game, getting the fetch on our step did not cost us anything. They are choosing to play to I don't believe I want to play into mana here. So we'll make sure we can cast all of our spells. So Teferi here would be our best draw because it shuts down a lot of interaction. But instead we drew a so I'm gonna get a noble here. I do want to get ahead on mana because I do have a lot of cards in my hand that are double and it shuts off everything for a turn. Stoneforge Mystic will get sort of Light and Shadow, and hopefully we can get this small lock going. So they lose the Planeswalker. Oh no, they do get it. Oh, they were gonna Orca there. So I did make a play mistake there. I should have waited until they played a Path to Exile. So here we are going to. Yeah. So they cannot path this guy. And we can freely attack Gideon. Gaining life is also relevant. Nothing in their deck can touch, which is good. So we attack Gideon, get back Stoneforge Mystic or Ranger, kind of facilitate the game in such a way that are ahead. I do want to make use of these unified wheels, so I probably will get back Ranger just so I can flip there. I may get another Hierarch here because it's tilted. Alright, so we do have to do combat damage to a back here. It is a good thing our opponent is playing fast. We'll scoop to Path to Exile. I am just dead here. So we're gonna go to game 3. Nothing I want to change. I like how these. A moderator of mine just texted me. He has no internet. We are on the play with something that draws cards. The same place to the board has a way to deal with any enchantment interaction. colors here. X-Drinkers battlefield. They probably kept that on a spell snare. Let's play around spell snare here with X-Drinker. Let's see, double white lets me play Ranger. I need. We'll get double white. We'll play to the board. Worry about Cryptic later. Cryptic's a later card. We're on the front foot. Oh no, that's such a lights out card. Good day. We're gonna play Giver of Rooms here. Hopefully their turn 3 is Snap at the Ranger, which I will let happen. Have Manic. I really want to play Ashy. I could just lock them out of fetches. Sure. Alright, blue. White. We'll stop this. And hopefully we can kind of mill them out of the game here. We take away their path, the XL snapbacks from Snapcaster Mage, things like that. And we do get to play something on the board. Yep, he's not gonna like that. Or the fielder. So we're going to continue to mill off the top, get a Force, and a Stony Silence. All really good hits here. Oh, me. Not at all. Read the card, dude. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and attack and get this off the battlefield now. Then he screwed this up royally. Cool. Glad I didn't have to play that out. Ashiok just destroyed there. So kind of the theory craft of the deck is coming together. Uh, you see how cards are able to kind of have multiple roles depending on the matchup, and that's why the sideboard's really important. Ashiok has come in handy a lot, multiple times here, which has been fantastic, and it just kind of proves the theory of Stoneforge Mystic is really good, but you kind of have to evaluate it in a mid-range kind of ethic. Uh, the thing that really makes this deck work is Spell Queller, Teferi, and Force Negation. That's what this deck is built around. Stoneforge Mystic just happens to be the thing that keeps us up on card advantage and can apply pressure to them. So we have a turn 1 Noble, we have Force Negation here. Threat. So we are pretty reactive here, but that's okay. We are playing against Burn. We might die. Alright. We need to get this Noble down. Alright, we can do some damage control here. Teferi can be really good. Not a good draw against the Burn deck here. Let's see, we'll get blue here. We'll kind of force their hand. We'll make them burn another spell here. Grab Batterskull. We gotta push this game late, be able to land a Batterskull. That is. They burn a 2-mana removal spell here on Stoneforge Mystic. May force. Yeah, we're gonna that by exiling Teferi. If we can put in a Batterskull, we just win the game on the spot. So hopefully that's what we can. We're putting you to the test. Do you have a third land? The saying at Burn is the best deck in the format if it only draws 2 lands. Poke a hole in that logic here. They do not have a removal. You could get damage. So while we're waiting on our opponent to decide if he should scoop or not, what are things you guys see that can make the stream better? You know, this video is going to go up on YouTube. Feel free in the comments to kind of critique how it looks, you know, the way it's presented, the way I articulate kind of what's going on as far as the game plan is concerned. Just, you know, I tell you guys this all the time. I want to build a community of people that want to be here, hang out, have fun, and really enjoy the process of, you know, being in a chat, playing Magic, having different ideas on lines of play or anything in the matter. I really just want to help you guys have a spot to where we can all hang out, and you can comment on how I'm playing Magic, crack jokes at me, all in good fun. That's all I really want here is a good group of guys to talk to while I play some Magic. I also stream that. Um, so hopefully you guys stick around. I am almost at affiliate. I do just have to get my viewers up. So if you are, like if you have a friend or if you have an extra phone or something, we can kind of juke the system a bit there, get more followers. Fantastic if I could start making money off of Prime and stuff. It would really let my wife things that mattered here. Let's see if I block. I have a lot of burn damage that I can absorb. So I'm gonna block. Got me. These are what make burn really good. Sunbait canyons. Go ahead and path little buddy here. And we will spell queller any play that they have on the back end. Sure. We'll gladly take a point of damage to spell queller that. If I hit a land here, it's 5 to equip, 1, 2, 5. Better skull. Yeah. Alright, burn deck. Burn me out now. Stupid Sunbait Canyon. Drawing multiple burn spells a turn. Alright. Let's see what you got for me. I hate playing against burn, especially with Sunbait Canyon. It's just easy mode. Like, hey, did you pass 4th grade multiplicative numbers? Cool. They burn. Burn. So I want to get rid of the Jace here. I have 4 cards I want to cut. Hex Trigger isn't what I'm about in this matchup. Spell Quellers, Teferis are fantastic. Maybe cut Sword and Fire and Ice. They're going to be bringing in Artifact Removal, and it's not the best here. It's not really what I want to be doing. I want to gain life and kind of burn them out. Or stabilize in such a way that they cannot burn me out, rather. So we have 2 cuts here. Probably cut. Or very nice. Cut 1 Coddle. We have a pretty good hand here. They are on the play in cap 7. You have interaction for a creature. We do have a Coddle that can block. So we are sitting in a pretty good spot here. I almost want to board out a Horizon Canopy. Those are. Um, let's see. There is some combat math into fetch and empath on the turn, so you use your mana properly and all that jazz. Yep. All right. Unified Will is not active. I repeat, Unified Will is not. Let's see here. We have two options. Can try to leverage Unified Will and also play a blocker. Or we can probably play into the Serum Blaze that they're holding up for ages. Revolt. I like this line. This line gets us up on mana. Sure. Alright, so they're flooding out a bit here, which is good. The Goblin God is putting in work. Alright. Woolpath, Useful Spear. In out of 10 times. Because uh, alright, little buddy. So anything that gains me life here is gonna just shut the door to this game. Like 2 block. Alright. They have 3 cards. I have to quell that. Like if they have a burn spell for it. Rough spot. Excuse me. But this is why I path the East with Spear. If they have, it's already a 2/2. The East gives me shots at the lane. Alright, so I'm hitting Teferi. Teferi isn't really good here. I need to draw a card. Okay, they don't have a burn spell at the end of turn. Okay, hitting the land. I don't know what else is on top because I don't have this up. Alright, we died. I don't think there's anything I really want to change here. Vendilion Click is kind of whatever. I want to get more on the mana side of things. I'll leverage Unify Will a bit more because it was stuck in our hand there. I think being able to play the Fairy or Knight in a really early turn is really good, so I want to have all of my mana acceleration up here. Alright, I would love to play here. I will keep. This hand looks fantastic. Turn 2. Spell Queller. You have mana acceleration. Excuse me. We are good to go. Sure. So if we hit a land here, we're in a really good spot. Could hit a blue thingy. Alright. We'll go get Batter Skull here and we'll play this nice little. Their ideal play is to Searing Blaze this. And if they do, I'll think about Spell Queller in it. Because having it stick is ideal. Especially if they play 2 mountains here. we are in a fantastic spot here. Sorry, but that I'm really getting over a cold. So depending on what they do, we can spell quell or something, block profitably here, um, or we can force any play that targets Stoneforge or our equipment. All right. So you'll see this happen. Block here. They'll take damage if they want to interact with us here. And we'll also force anything happens to go wild. Sure. Yep. This game was over. I really appreciate our opponents giving up early. That game was done so. Our hand was fantastic. Getting for a life every turn. Amazing. And hopefully you get to see the power of how I built the deck. How I made Stoneforge into an actual threat, not just something that's played because and so our bad matchups are Tron and Valakut, but you saw the power of Ashiok there, turn to shutting down shenanigans. We haven't played anything generate like the Urza deck or anything like that, so it's where you would see a lot of Electors and Rest in Pieces. The really good part about this deck is that the Stoneforge package can be out. When people try to attack the artifact base of it, we still have cards like Jace, Cryptic, Spellcrawler, Teferi to just grind them out of the game and kind of hold cards in there. I would have really liked to be on the play here, but as I can, I'm rival, so we shall keep. All right, we have human. Oh wait. All right. Okay, so they are playing Kite Sail, so they will get to probably take the. But we do have really good blocks with Spellqueller, and if we draw a path or anything, perish. No attacks here. Just kind of want to play the game. Anything that they play, I will probably quill. They only have cards in hand, so them drawing a card or just playing straight to it. So we have to quill this here, unfortunately. Hollow Mountain. I'll take 3. Path X, that would be fantastic. Oh, we can slam Jace. Jace is something we could. That would probably not be a bad. We can also grab Stoneforge Mystic. There are a lot of. Oh, play Stoneforge. Grab Sword of Fire and Ice here. That was the draw that probably killed us here. They do have to hold back a creature here that flies, so they can't attack with the Pridemate. Let's see, I'll take this hit here. Just so I know I have enough mana. Already played all. Yeah, I think we're just dead. I think I should have got the sword that lets us block this profitably. Life. Yep, we're just. X Drinker and go. I don't really know what's good against Lily. Try. Let's protect. Yeah, no. We'll try like this. This isn't a matchup that I'm prepared for. We have to just kind of play to our main deck here. His hand looks fantastic. Add our skull back. Alright. And our game plan is to play Stoneforge to Ranger and grab a Giver of Runes so we can kind of push through damage here. Sure. So you can have your pick. Large. Probably take Batter Skull. And I will. Ice Fang Coddle is a draw here for us. Um, do I really want to tap out? Can play the. So we have a lot of things we can do here. We can play Ranger, grab another Noble or a Bird. Um, and Ice Fang and play the Light and Shadow in the end of the turn. I think I want to stop this from dealing damage ASAP. Um, so we'll play the sword. Bottle. Excuse me. All right. So we'll put the equipment there. Green. All right. After 5 games, I figured out how to tap play Coddle correctly. I'll take 4 here. That looks really good for the late game. Exile this and play. And in this turn, I can equip. All right. So we've kind of locked down the battlefield here, which is really nice. No Dismember, no Reflector Mage. And if they do deal with the sword, we do have an Ice Fang to kind of manipulate combat damage. Maybe get back Batter Skull. We have navigated this game well. Game 2. Being able to play really matters here. Being able to get on the board with our turn 1 ramp or their turn 1 Champion of the Bears is really the deciding factor here. I just want to hit land drops here. and drop. Heyo. We'll play a ranger here. Go get another noble. Play the noble here. Last turn. 4, 5, 6. If they, yeah, they're gonna commit one more to the battlefield. Try to kind of just, and then we'll just swing all out. This will clear the game up. They only play 1 to 2 basics. Full card advantage here. All right, that's a good play from their part. So the other gets rid of the protection clause. Let's see. Block 30. White, 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 white. Cast with over. This card says win the game. I get to draw 2 more cards. Get to have my Battle Skull back. I have a full battlefield. They have 1, 2. This seems really good for us. This should push it to game 3. And that was a luck. Alright. I think I'll get another core Firewalker. Maybe, yeah, maybe a Hex. Maybe another turn. Maybe a card for the human matchup could be, but it's not really in the metagame right now. I haven't seen it a lot online. This looks kind of decent again. We have a lot of cards that play to the board. The Spell Queller kind of gets around the cannot be countered clause. Pretty honest, good game. Maybe they'll kind of readjust after seeing little buddy there, but work with what we got. Only having 3 pass really does hurt us in this matchup, but I really think the flexibility with the third to fairy over the path is kind of ideal in kind of metagame. I like to deal with creatures. Ice Fang Coddle, Spell Queller, things I like to play the game, not give them. If we were playing Hearthstone, I'd keep a heartbeat. Always have a champion to start. Alright. If they play Thalia, play Knight. If they don't play Thalia. Alright, so they have Teferi or Cryptic. Still have a turn 3. I have to get blue here if I want to cast Cryptic. I'm gonna put counters here. I want to be able to block profitably. Um, he'd have to play Thalia's Lieutenant plus another 1-drop. Bad play. We'll put him to the test here to see if he has it. And we can kind of leverage Cryptic Command. Oh, so they're gonna take the Cryptic here. So they brought in Dismember. Okay, so they left us kind of dry here. They have a really good start. I could hard cast Batterskull next turn. Isn't a terrible play. We'll see if they have a fight set. Something they can add to the. Looks like they're running low on things to do. Path. Auto. Alright, fair enough. Alright. Not have Electromate. Just don't have anything. How about that? Just nothing. Nothing but lands. Okay. We have stabilized. Aya. 5. Alright. We're in the trenches here. They have ran out of gas. They had a really good start. We have stabilized with a hard casted Batterskull. So we will spell coil anything that comes off the top. Or Phantasmal Image. Shuts off any attacks here. That's a really good one. This also shuts off Reflector Mages and out. Because I can kill you. This should be a lock. This should be a very clear 5-0 here. Sure. Have a Teferi. Alright, what? I think we're going to start out with an attack here. They do have to chump block. Each card holds a piece. Important to toughest creature. Let's see. All right, and they scooped it up. Good old 5-0. Um, fantastic win here. We got a trophy deck list online now. This video will be going up on YouTube. Now we'll talk about the closeout sections. I think the main deck is really well tuned for what you'll see on Magic. The small Ranger package for Giver and Hex Trinket is fantastic. Play to the Ice Fang Coddle and Stoneforge Mystic really just hammer home Spell Queller to Fairy kind of combo-ish that they have there in the fair mid-range matchups as well as the unfair matchups. Cryptic and Jace let you play over the top of the black-green decks that you'll see around trying to leverage Polygon's Command, things like that to prey on this style of deck. These cards kind of go over the top. Force of Negation is what makes this deck work. Not play well in a tournament, a consistent round Magic competitive environment if you don't have Force of Negation in your main deck. You'll lose to you'll lose burn. There were many times you can go back in the video. There were pivotal points where Stoneforge lived because of negation. And I was able to leverage this ability with this unfair mechanic to play Batterskull. Stoneforge is only going to be good if you protect it, and that's where these cards come in. So Stoneforge is really easy to kill. You can kill it with any 1 mana thing. Odds are you'll find something that can kill it. So you need Force of Negation to back it up. You don't lose the card because you picked up Batterskull. So technically you're even on cards, and you get to play a lot of tempo. This landing is fantastic. That's also why you have 2 swords here. The 2 swords kind of let you manipulate the game on the battlefield depending on what you're if you're playing a creature deck, like you saw, I got Sword of Fire and Ice, and I was able to pick off their creatures in the Humans matchup, threaten lead that way. There is also a soft lock with Ranger and Sword of Light and Shadow if you're a trolling deck. You sack this before damage, pick it back up, play it, upkeep, and then you sack it. That way they can just never play a spell that interact with the board outside of a creature. And the sideboard I feel like was really well tuned. We saw the Winds of Abandon come in fantastic. Ashiok won his games here. Knight of Autumn was fantastic. Just really flexible cards that come ups. There is theory here that Collector Roof is more important in the artifact style matchups than your Stoneforge Mystic. Playing a 4/4 for 2 is really ideal. Tap out and then so having this here to hedge against this, good. Rest in peace also pairs well with Collector Oof. Kind of just sort these cards out and play a more Force Spell Queller flash deck. Allows you to tempo things out as well as kind of control the key parts of the game. Or unfair matchups where Stoneforge just dies. Like you just tap out for Stoneforge and die. It's not. Kind of want to play more reactive. I really like this card. It allows you to just kind of put your dick on the table, make them deal with it. But you saw the 5-0, you saw the theory craft in action. It was really fantastic. Like I said, if you have any comments about how I can make this stream better, how I can work, how we can make this environment more inviting, more comfortable, please leave the thoughts in the comments. They're open. Chat rules, better be respectful. Do not just state your opinion. It's worthy. I'll give a rebuttal, and we'll. That being said, I'm gonna. It was a fantastic display of the deck. Feel free to find it on the trophy list itself. If any tweaks, any lines of play that you picked up, feel free to leave comments as well. We're all trying to be better Magic players here, and I really, you point out things that I missed or things that I could have done better. So you grow and I grow. We have a conversation. Maybe it'll come up and some money off the conversation. It's a very small thing, but these. So take care, you guys, and I hope to see you soon.